The spring 2023 season launched on Upward, with Twice landing the first significant hit with a 6-0 defeat of inVision.
There's a level 1 gun going up. That's going to be the only defense as they cap this one out. 30-second remaining. inVision already leaving the server, and that is Twice winning this one.
Champions SDCK beat Highlander, and a new-look Phala were eventually able to claim a 4-2 victory over the Fresh Pills from Bel Air with a little spoon magic from Hanjo.
Slows it. Hanjo once more in for a bomb on the spoon onto Shinso.
On King of the Hill, inVision came roaring straight back with a thumping win over Phala.
Going down though, but Jaka has been an absolute menace. It's like, how does he get Joe?
SDCK swept aside Pills in convincing fashion.
And again, the rocket from Jackie Legs, he just jumps in with the Uber, and the second one is going to be an edge.
Hardly actually fight on point at all, but it looks like they're breaching those defenses here, but not for very long. Look at that, the City Travel only gets 2 already, and the one more pipe to close it out. That last 5 before, after the...
And Twice took a comfortable victory to propel themselves to the top of the table.
Open up the sidelines for Twice. Sammy goes in with the huge bomb. Holy moly, holy smokes pipes. Okay.
He was on concrete, now he's on cliff. He's on an 8-kill streak. The Demo Man is down. This Uber comes out from High Panzer, is chasing. Sebastian has only 90% Uber charge advantage.
Oh my god,
Akio gets the stab! Oh my.
On to week 3, and the Fresh Pills from Bel Air took home a hard-fought win against High Panzer, their first of the season.
Clutch by Akio there. Just gonna get the rest of them going now. Oh! And there we go! Akio continues to just be the most clutch game of all time.
And the Sapper has been removed twice by Vlad, the home wrecker doing work. And Akio on a tear.
SDCK once more eased home against inVision. However, Twice's impressive form was halted on Vigil, where not even Axio's second-round heroics could stop them going down 2-4 to a resurgent Phala.
Yeah, I mean, this is very, very aggressive. Sammy gets dropped there, and no, the most crucial drop is Sebastian.
Back to King of the Hill, and High Panzer finally showed us what they're capable of by beating inVision on Proot. But Unforgiven's plays helped inVision to a share of the points by winning Pro Plan.
Yeah, they have to get onto the point now. Unforgiven gets Thunder, gets Joe, gets Nebu, gets Lawrence.
Twice confirmed their semi-final spot with a solid victory over Pills, and SDCK continued to look formidable as they demolished Phala. Rounding out the season, heading into Steel Week with playoff dreams on the line, SDCK outclassed Twice to finish with an unblemished record in the regular season.
As well, manages to surf away onto Sting, and oh, what a stab from him!
Pills snatched 2 points from inVision, giving Phala a chance to make playoffs, but High Panzer crushed Phala's dreams, allowing inVision through to the semifinals.
Good evening, everyone. This semi-final is brought to you by
Gamer Subs
and not Steven. Dr. Underscore holding the camera ever so tightly and catching all the action, and last and least, me. Not Steven, take us away on the first mid-fight.
Yeah, usually a slow mid-fight here. It does look like Twice is taking so much space over the point. Dell going down early though, so there's no reflect on that spam. Sammy maybe overextended a little bit here. They are looking like they're losing quite a lot of players here on Twice compared to that of inVision, but they kind of are bringing it back with a couple of pit classes coming up here, but it is looking like this first cap should go to inVision, but they definitely have the chance to come back and fight here, as Medic's looking like he wants to peak this point a little bit. It does take a while to cap here.
inVision do have the Uber advantage here, since Sebastian was not really connected with his team, so this still have this 20% advantage, but nobody is going to have the eyes onto that. Quite the risky scenario early on. Also interesting how this worked out, because Hiva first of all jumped so far in and kept inVision busy, which meant that they were pushed up farther back, but no team has kept yet. Novi is going to open all this up there onto a pick, onto Broken, but the Uber exchange is going to come in.
Yeah, still no point capture so far. Dell going down there though. It does look good for inVision here. They got all their players streaming onto the point here one by one. Unforgiven though gets a lovely stab onto the medic. Another one. This is been a chain stab menace so far this season, but our first cap going towards inVision. Those last couple picks really tying it up nicely, and now they're just sitting pretty. Little bit of Uber advantage going to be coming out here as well.
Didn't particularly have the eyes on why Sebastian had this Uber disadvantage on this very first mid-fight, but it was quite risky to play like this. They didn't get punished this time around, though. They're going to get punished by the pick classes of all things, and not keeping track of them, and still with the 60% advantage here on the side of Zio. So it will be interesting in the prospect of this entire game if they want to get aggressive here, or if they are comfortable with just staying in the banana, having their own timer tick down.
Yeah, they are taking this refight here. Uber's not quite ready to come out. Actually, I say that, Zio pops that Uber straight away, going aggressive. A good force coming out, but spy picks are coming through from Unforgiven once more, getting the picks he needs here. Does look like Sebastiani should be able to get out for now, but it's becoming a bit of a scrappy fight as Medic just running around onto the Medic here. Can he find those last shots? He can, manages to get onto Zio to kind of even things out a little bit here, so this should be looking pretty good for Twice to recapture this point, but already a minute down on the clock, and they are still contesting this timer, slowly going down, the point capture going up. This will turn to Twice's favor.
Twice once for the very first time capping this point, as still cleaning some players there up. Essex and Kafka falling down to the heavy and to some rockets respectively. The symbiosis of players walking into the left side while the other players didn't back out early enough. Broken finds the head there of Luca Enderman. Elijah getting stabbed there, Unforgiven even going to get that stab onto a pursuing Hiva, and he's already getting a 3k. I feel like he wants to show early that he's the threat that they have to deal with, since he gets the 3 picks, even though inVision, Twice wanted to hold forward. It's not really looking all that good for them right now.
Yeah, they're still kind of staying forward. They felt a bit confident knowing Luca was down, that they couldn't push super aggressively in here. Managed to get a couple of picks, but it doesn't look like they're going in very aggressive here on Twice. Getting some good picks overall though, but losing a couple on their side. Uber was used during this exchange. Sammy does live, so that will be the demo man living. Allows him to go for that forward hold potential. Unforgiven was just in trying to go for anything. I think he manages to butter knife 4 different people. Couldn't quite get anything going there, so no spy to come in and contest.
Sojourn from behind gets the force. Medic didn't look at him, but took a damage, rocket damage into the back, so popped onto Instinct, and Sammy is going to control from the crates right there. Essex going to get stepped down. The cap is falling in the favor of inVision, but maybe the frags are falling in the favor of Twice, since they're getting so much damage there onto inVision, and probably limiting them to a rather meager and marginal time ticked off that point. Also, this sort of Uber usage there in this forward hold was the first big mistake in my humble opinion, since it was absolutely there was absolutely no reason there, and Sebastian seems to be disconnected by his combo quite a lot, so we have to keep the eyes onto that in the long term. But inVision is trying to etch this point once again.
Yeah, but you were talking about how, you know, they only got a little bit of cap time, but that cap took so long to come out from Twice there, that they managed to gain a little bit back here. And look, they're already able to start walking back in on inVision. The positioning is not that great on Twice. They're really trying. They've been giving good damage so far. Sammy connecting some good pipes into drop down onto Luca. He has to back out, but look how much cap time they've just been given for free. And, you know, the tables have turned once more already. It's going back and forth very, very quickly between these two teams. And look at this, Domaytoe. They've got this banana hold going, usually very, very strong on this map.
In like vein, I feel they have to ask the big boy questions early on, as I come to this thought in a bit, as the Uber is going to get popped on to Menex, the Menace probably, and on to Sammy there. They don't even get all that much done for it. I think they got 1 frag, and the counter Uber is not going to find all that much though. However, on the flip side, Unforgiven is getting a stab in this post-Uber fight, and Norby even still going to get stabbed down. Only 5 players there left alive on the side of inVision.
Yeah, there was a nice pick onto Broken there by Unforgiven, which I think kind of slowed things down a little bit for Twice here, but they managed to recap it quite handily. Just kind of got the better out of that aggressive Uber exchange overall. And this is kind of the, you know, the dice roll you have with Twice sometimes. They like going very aggressive with these. Oh, the stab comes out all the way from top from Unforgiven. Managed to take down Sebastiani, and now there's going to be no heals for Twice. They need to hold it for longer than inVision here. They only need to hold it 30 seconds as they start capping up this point here on inVision. They're really going to need to make something happen on this last fight. Sammy dies of full damage as well, so there'll be no demo to contest.
High bomb from Hiva goes even further high, because he's not even going into the sky, he's going into heaven, and probably into the highlight reel after that one, getting piped mid-air. What a miraculous pipe that was from Luca Enderman, cementing the fact that he also has something to say about this game, and not only the pick classes, that a lot of players were able to rebulge out of there. And the Uber fights, again, we're not convincing my eyes on the side of Twice, but they're also getting dealt with quite easily by the enemy pick classes.
Should be too much longer here.
Right now, again, unpausing right here. Let's see what Twice can still do here, as they're even going to get that cap time. Everyone is going to spawn and even still conglomerate up on that point, as they're going to delay the cap for a little bit for their players to spawn quite smartly so, because right now the respawn times on inVision are way longer than the ones on Twice, and they want to have their players respawn. So never mind us here, as even the Bob is going to get absolutely denied on the side of Kafka, and they still haven't kept the point. Maybe they should do it, but they put up way more fight than we maybe expected.
Yeah, my prediction of them just winning that round was apparently completely wrong here. So Twice still in the game for this round, still our first round here. So everything is to play for, but you want to keep this momentum going, and now will be inVision trying to come forward here, just streaming players onto point here. They have a couple of players in Banana as well, as we do see a Soldier Bomb come in, completely denied here. A couple of players going down here. It's looking so strong for Twice, as they've taken down Pajaka and Kavka here. It's really on the pick classes to try to get something going. Uber does come out from Zio here onto his subject, and he get much done. I don't know here. This is such a difficult situation. Still a full buffed heavy of Twice just allowed to sit on point here, as the last players trying to scramble in. They need to get this heavy, but no, he stands strong on that point, and that is not what I was expecting at all.
Is that the congenial genius of the Vaccinator teamed up with a team walking aggressive? No, but we still saw the Vaccinator there in the end. It was a teamwork play, really, in Team Fortress 2. Who would have expected? They all hit in some interesting scenarios and then managed to repulse inVision off that point, and that meant that dragged on the fight for even longer, and then they played smartly about the respawn timer, so they show that they definitely have something in the bank here, as maybe they heard us being a bit too critical to them beforehand, even though they still have some work to do on their Uber. So let's see how that rings out. Right now nobody died for the longest time. Right now once again Axios getting the opening step onto Kafka.
Nice opening stab really means they can't play super aggressive here on inVision, can't send those bombs in, so that's just one less thing to worry about. They are getting that first little bit of early cap time, but they're being so careful here. Both snipers just looking to grab that first person who goes over point, and it will be broken, taking the Sting, and Axio getting a nice stab onto Zio will definitely get things flowing here. But straight back on Sebastiani, he catches an absolute pipe from Luca. I think that's Luka Doncic, not Luka Enderman.
He is using his Ender Pills to teleport all the players back to spawn. You might even don't want to make eye contact with him, otherwise you're going to startle him. The positive side effect of Sebastian getting stabbed after you used the Uber is that they had an Uber while Zio got dropped there. So the first drop we saw already, so Spice can work both ways in terms of consistency, as the Scout and the Pyro even going to snack onto the point. Pijaka and Grip getting huge amount of cap time, and insurmountable right now is the cap time gained, or well, almost at least. Right now they're going to cap it, and they even got Semi down and all of that, so that releases some down to them maybe of the counter aggression.
Yeah, a nice easy recut coming out from them there overall on inVision. I didn't really struggle too much. There was a little Hiver hiding in the background, but got easily taken down by Stinghan, and yeah, they just kind of managed to get those last couple picks while the Ubers weren't quite in play. But that won't be the case for this next fight. Sebastiani 95%, so I expect him to start walking over this point very soon, Domaytoe.
Manix is already the little menace there onto the point. He's capping, but he's also getting involved in the Uber, and right now it's better Uber management on paper for Zio because he had to pop later, but you saw how wonderful they scrambled out there on the side of Twice. Some players went drop down, the other went out main with the rest of this Uber, and nobody died in this initial Uber, but right now the pipes are once again coming in from Luca Enderman alongside with Pijaka, so those 6's classes are delivering on their DM promise. Medigun still used on the side of Sebastian and has 50%, while Zio went down in this entire encounter. It looked very good, the fight on inVision, but they lost their medic.
Yeah, I mean, losing your medic is the biggest thing here. They still have the points. This time is ticking down, but a minute 40 remaining. If you are the side of inVision here, but you have to worry about this Uber coming up. 75% on Sebastiani. He's going to be trying to build this as fast as possible. They're probably just going to be waiting for it here. But it's a behind the point hold for inVision. which usually you can get, you know, out of a lot easier. Maybe you lose 1 or 2 people trying to push back that Uber, but if you're going to keep that advantage, should be really good. Stinghand, I'm not sure how he does those traps. Manchu Norby going down as well should unleash Broken here to be able to get some really nice sidelines if he wants to. He's up in this window area. He doesn't know there's a spy near him. He's very worried about it, but they're just going to take this for free here. I suppose they're just going to wait for the Ubers to become even on inVision.
Well, it will be a long time until they get even, because Sebastian just got forced. He got so weak there in the backlines and therefore had to pop his Uber. So 60% disadvantage on the side of Twice, not even twice, but multiple times being in the Uber disadvantage, as we've seen already since we're only on the second round. But that has been an ongoing trend so far. Zio tries to eye up with his combo where they want to push in and from what venue of damage to exploit, or will they even going to keep that point without using the Uber? No, they're going to walk forward here. Sebastian will be able to snuck out alive with the apt help of his Pyro.
I think that man should not have lived there. I was about to say Sebastiani in an awful positioning, was about to get caught out, but manages to clutch up, get that health pack, dealt getting some great reflex, lets him live another day here. Coming up to that 100% Uber. Do give up that cap to inVision for now, but you expect them to be walking straight in, maybe a high bomb coming in from Hiver here. They just need to be worried about getting forced early. I assume they probably want to take it in early. Stinghand is pressured back, still in that window though, but has to drop down here. Should slow things down a little bit as there is an Uber coming in from under. Sammy loves taking this under area, but he's just not managing to get the pick. Stinghand, the only casualty of this Uber, is probably the least you could expect.
He gets a sentry gun as well. Beautiful. I mean, someone should have maybe called where they were. Sometimes blindsiding yourself, pushing through under is not the optimal play, even though I like pushing through under because, I mean, it gets some spice in and you might surprise the enemy team, but the problem is if the enemy team is only a stable robot, the sentry gun that was, then it's not even going to salvage you all that much. I would have liked Sebastian and his combo to be even more aggressive, maybe off Uber beforehand, since Zio again went down in this post-fight that we saw beforehand, and that could have meant that they would have limited inVision there to more time on the point. Sebastian is going to get absolutely pepper shot down there by Piyaka, and the soldiers in as well. All these flank classes think it's MG.
Yeah, that was a really nicely timed play. I'm not sure how Hiver survived that long. Managed to get out a good 3 rockets there, and then Broken and Axio came in to finish up. So what was looking like a really bad fight in the end has not turned out too badly. It's about even Uber. Sebastiani obviously did die from that aggressive under Uber from inVision, but they managed to kind of pull it the other way here, cap the point out, and now only about 30 seconds remaining on both teams here, but they just keep pushing forward here on inVision. It feels like they're just basically constantly on this point. No one really into position to block here. It's going to be a bit risky as Illusioner takes a shot, so he's not going to be able to block at all here. 30 seconds remaining now for inVision. Setting up in this banana hole. Don't really have a sentry, so might be a little bit risky here. Decide to back out straight away as they are Luca Enderman down. But look how long this point is going to take cap. And look, there's a spy coming in for this stab on the medic. Can he find it? He gets the butter knife, but cannot find that final pick. That's so unlucky for Unforgiven. He was walking for so long, looking both ways before he crossed the road, but couldn't find that pick. And now they do get the cap, but only 4 seconds remaining for inVision. It's going to be a close one.
Lot of unluck. If it works, obviously no luck, but skill. Right now we are having an Uber used here on the front and countered aptly once again on the side of Twice, so they might end up in the benefit and with the advantage here as some pyro on pyro action will once again salvage a little bit of progress right here that can be used to walk into some space onto the side of Twice, even though they're going to lose this fight there, probably the DM fight short term, but might win the fight for the point in the long term, as they fought everyone off with the able and apt help of the heals.
Yeah, they just managed to keep Sammy alive for so long here. It's turning into a very scrappy fight, but overall, I think they're kind of coming out a little on top on Twice, but they are managing to keep touching this point. Fist is still heavy, being an absolute Chad here, just standing on it, getting all this cap time. They might even give up this point so they can just recap it as fast as possible on Twice, but the battalion of players is coming back in. Uber comes out, though, on the side of Twice here, and there is just no counter to invincibility, other than your own invincibility. But it's just on a scout against an entire team, which is probably not going to turn out great in the end. Pajaka doing a lot of damage and pushing people back, does win out that scout 1v1, but they do manage to clinch it with a ridiculously long fight going up 2-0. inVision needs to find those last clutch few kills that they just can't find in these last 2 rounds.
Fascinating turn of events. Twice managed to keep their combo together way more, and they managed to realize how you have to play around this point, because they're doing that way better than inVision, since they're always dragging the fights out quite sturdily, or being sturdy themselves after everything went down, and then they exchange the players out that go weak, so those players get healed up and always rotate around their medic, which I wanted them to do beforehand, and right now they seem to have found their mojo, as Delt is the first one going to die, the first frag of the mid, dying to a full charge body shot there from the sniper, who is going to get spotted in that little drop down area, and the heavy tries to get some salvaging bullets once again into the fight, and Sebastian once again. Apparently he did hit that. Our producer was a bit surprised, as maybe we are as well, but the scout is speedily snucking in there and going to give them the seal advantage.
Yeah, there was a bit of everything going into that medic kill. I think there was maybe an early rocket or pipe, and then there was some fire going on. There was a little bit of a scattergun shot, but that does mean that they lose Sebastiani early here. So it's not going to go great for them as the first cap goes towards inVision, but I feel like they've been in this place every round. I think inVision might have got the first cap the last 2 rounds as well. And we know how that has gone so far, so they're definitely not out of it so far. Broken going down, though, it's a bit of a tragedy. He's been, you know, really good for opening up these fights with a couple of picks, but they won't have that luxury this time, as their health is just dwindling on Twice. They're trying to get onto this point, but Luca is just finding those spam pipes and stickies. They are giving up a bit of cap time, but they're keeping it safe, keeping their medic alive, keeping all these crucial players nice and healthy. But Menix, he's just being Menix the Menace throughout this whole game. Is finally taken down a little bit too low to continue onto this point, but as this edge does continue going down, so does the clock. They do finally get it on Twice, but it's already a minute down here. Zio in a... not serious.
It's tonight. Maybe they need to be on the back foot here in Twice to unleash their full potential, as you alluded to, they lost the first cap, but afterwards they well and solidly rebounded, because they gave all the space to Broken. He did deliver on the space that was given to him. He was on a 3k, always kept his life. Right now he's going to get a little bit flared, but Fire doesn't even fathom him all that much, as they have to still fight for this point, since everybody is up. They have the resources here on the side of Twice, and inVision likewise still have their resources up, and they're going to maybe spend a little bit more resources onto that point to even cap it, but it's taking them some time, and easily some openings are going to present themselves from that. Once again, the same storyline, 4 players dying in that pursuit, not only of happiness, but capping the point.
Yeah, huge damage coming in from Sammy in drop down, followed up by the damage from the rest of his team. A nice little cheeky butter knife coming out, but there's an Uber exchange happening on point here. Luca Enderman so caught out, but manages to get a clutch flash from Zio. Will live another day here, but they haven't managed to capture the point quite yet on inVision. Maybe waiting a little bit for the rest of their team to come up and forward here. Surprised they gave that up so easy. Luca taken down so low once again by Menix, but he can't find that final shot to finish him off, so they're going to be able to chill for a little bit. But as I was saying, this Broken on a 4k now takes it down Luca. This is the perfect opportunity if you're Twice to try to start walking forward. Sammy can lock down so much of this space, lock down that drop down, lock down that front of the point. Grip trying to make that a bit difficult by giving him some reflex, but I don't think that's going to do much. There is a heavy flanking underneath, unspotted Sting Hand. Can he get onto the medic here, getting some first few shots, and he can find on Sebastiani. What a clutch play from him to notice that no one has been watching that under area and come in for the perfect flank play. This is exactly what inVision need to get around up on this board.
On the flip side, Twice should have enabled the players that were still up to maybe go onto Zio, because he has full Uber up right now, and their next part down to their checklist should be force that medic and get the juicy drop, or make him scared, because that is easier to have him take some damage and then make him scared and then he pops. That's how medic psychology works in the end, but Luca Enderman seems to be falling down way more than Sammy, so this won for so long. Twice these fights here, he was a little bit more vulnerable to these sniper sidelines, since not a lot of players were following up behind Luca Enderman. Broken is on an 8k in the result of that, and right now once again the pick classes are going to come in. Both medics still survive, but the chaos and the mayhem is going to get unleashed, and it's favoring the team that has the point right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is my HUD broken? Did you just say Broken was on a 9k? This man is going absolutely crazy so far this round. Couple picks coming out early. This is what Twice want here. Not quite the picks they want. Highlander does go down to a nice reflect, and they still have Uber here on Zio, so that, you know, original push did not go so well. Manic's getting taken down as well. It's going to really make them struggle. One less person to cap here. Sammy looking to take in an Uber exchange, but there was no eyes on it as well. They're so far back. Broken getting taken down as well. Uber finally comes out, but surely this is going to find Sebastiani, and it does so easily. Just so badly played here from Twice. Oh, what a tragedy.
Fantastic W plus M1 combo only seen in Prem right there, as there's nothing that counters Grip there, who gets Ubered, walks forward, flames everyone down. Only 4 seconds to go here. Sebastiani once again switching to the crits kick, but probably will not get into action as Stinghan is so forward here, doesn't get dealt with early enough, and therefore he gets so much damage in only 2 players. 1 player left alive, not a full wipe, but probably what they wanted regardless of that, because it's a 2-1 in the favor of inVision, and now they are in the dictating mood because they realized how they have to play it in the sort of last 40 seconds. They baited Twice to get aggressive into them, and then they surrounded them, especially with their flank. Their flank is coming in fast, loose and easy on the side of Pijaka and Kafka. Early on it was Manix and Hiva getting behind, but right now they're getting a bit denied on the side. Still, what stays the same though is that those mid-fights are so passive.
Yeah, I mean, this is classic Warmtic mid-fights, right? They just seem to take absolute years. You need some crucial pick to really get things rolling, otherwise it's kind of really difficult to edge the cap here. There is a spy looking towards window. Can't find that first pick, unfortunately here. So Kafka and Unforgiven going down. That's 2 potential pick classes. Might motivate Twice a little bit to start walking forward here. Does look like they're going to meet with inVision, who are already very aggressive on this point. Uber comes out onto Sammy, but they've all kited it so well. Axio, the only one able to find a pick. It is onto Luca Enderman here. But with Zio living and keeping that 100% Uber advantage, I think you expect a repush to be imminent here.
This time, the sheer existence of glowing players did not instigate Zio, luckily, to pop his Uber, because he was in no danger beforehand. In the banana, he used his Uber maybe a bit preemptively, but he is going to keep it right now, and in the result it means no team has kept yet. Axio, Rambosaur, Broken and Hiva all falling down, so 4 players down. Uber disadvantage. Pretty rough start once again to this first mid-fight, but historically we've seen already that Twice are usually not really faced by that.
No, and the Uber's already coming up on Sebastian. He's already on 80% here. So it's not going to be too much time on the clock before these Uber exchanges come out. And this has looked pretty good for Twice overall so far. They've been pretty good at this Uber exchanges. They need to make sure that they spread their resources pretty well here, because there is a gun in banana, but the rest of the combo holding behind point, a little bit unconventional to what you might normally see. Sammy decides he wants to get that gun down early. It could be such a huge menace. They will take down the engineer and soldier, so there is no gun. They're getting good cap time here as well, but still haven't seen this Uber come out from Zio. They are really biding their time, but it finally does come out. Can they manage to kite out here as Grip is in high, can't find anything. Manix on anti-air denial. He's doing such a good job. Uber has now faded and no point capture come out from Twice, unfortunately. Couldn't quite find it. There is a cheeky little Unforgiven looking for a stab as soon as Illusioner walks onto point, but he's spotted here as they look like they are getting enough picks to cap this out on Twice. Minute down on the clock, but we've seen them win these quite handedly from this position. And look, forward hold.
Heavy takes the teleporter and teleports himself right back to the respawn queue. I mean, you just visited it, so it might be familiar to Stinghan as he falls down. Only a short respawn wave for him, however, as once again we're seeing this forward hold. We didn't really see it work. Unforgiven comes in, drops on the head of Hiva, and then I'm going to say trick step. It was a side step. I don't care how you call it, but he then gets sidestepped down to a delt. Both medics die in the entire encounter, and this forward hold usually, again, has Doom embroidered onto it on the side, and for Twice, since they didn't have any success beforehand. Zio gets fully charged, body shot by a miraculous sniper sideline.
Yeah, I'm surprised Zio walked straight into the open there, right? That's usually where you expect the sniper to be. It's a super common position, but I guess just wasn't really thinking about it this time. Taking down Zio is really going to slow things down here, as both teams basically reset for that fight. Gonna give a decent chunk of Uber advantage, about 50% towards Sebastiani, but the Hill's already back onto point. They've got to be careful from this spam through drop down. Sammy's done such a great job, and also this broken sniper bit does look like Unforgiven go for something onto Broken. There's no sniper as they just charge straight forward onto this point on inVision, but Illusion are doing a great job of contesting it even just for a second. Sammy calls for the aggressive Uber, doesn't want to give up this cap time, but Zio manages to get out here, so the Uber's gonna switch, and look, they just managed to get Pyro straight onto point here.
Pijaka has great 1v1s. I want to point this out, since usually the scorer, as I was saying, the scorer or the striker rather in TF2 are the pick classes, because they always look flashy. This time around Zio is also going to get revolvered down. They needed this very crucial Uber to even get themselves once again back into this round, because this was their main prospect and their main advantage that they had so far. But Pijaka is also reading those 1v1 scenarios very well. He was deleting Hiva on the top right beforehand with quite the good juke, dodging and diving, and some mid shots thrown in there as well. Right now on this point, Ghost sting-handing caps it out quite easily, really, because Twice is back and banking on their own Uber advantage to help them and absolutely annihilate the enemy
I think
team.
they mostly went back there because Sammy got taken out by a stab and Menex got taken out by some nice heavy spam, playing a little too aggressive when they just didn't have those hills forward, and that just kind of made them all back out here. But yeah, as you were saying, there is an Uber advantage, but it's only 20%, and that is going down rapidly here as they decide they want to go underneath here on the side of Twice. Will this work out? 97%.
And they're close here, but they're going to catch up on the Uber.
Can't get
They're
it,
going to
though.
catch up on the Uber, and therefore it is going to get countered. However, still some stragglers are going to get absolutely separated out. Nobody really dies in this early encounter, but the health discrepancy is helping Twice so far, as Zio is still pushed farther back, but they still own this point. So Twice have to be on this point, and they're not really doing it right now. So quite lucky Zio just about catching up on the Uber.
Yeah, Menex manages to get on this point, is getting a reasonable amount of cap time so far. Just looks like they have slightly better players, and these respawners faster in the queue than inVision come in at the exact right time here, as this fight is going so well for Twice straight away. They've just got all that space on the point pretty much for free here. They need to worry about a recontest, but taking down a Stinghand in that window will really help things out here. They're just going to get healed up, make sure their medic survives. Unforgiven can't find that crucial stab here. They are getting a little bit of cap time, but I think they're going to be quite okay with that for now.
If you look at it from the macro perspective, then inVision definitely have a great shot here because they own the point. They have their medic up, but the problem is, in the micro perspective, they might not even be the favorites in this Uber fight since they lost 3 players. Luca Enderman is on 1 HP somewhere, so somewhere means he's not in this Uber, which is the most crucial part, and right now he's even going to get stabbed. Some players are causing so many headaches there in behind. As you mentioned, the Heavy is running about, causing mayhem, and they're going to get caught out there. Only 10 seconds for Twice.
How did Illusioner get there? That is such a game-winning play from him to get back there. Completely made the medic go into an awful position. They just managed to get so many picks on those players who couldn't get healed, and Twice just win that out. I guess he just went through under and was unspotted for that long.
And we're going live here on the second map, Vigil, Twice on the offense and inVision on the defense.
Yeah, just a reminder that this is obviously our semi-finals game here. We are going to have the finals casted it right here on KritzKast. That is going to be SDCK versus the winner of this game. So make sure to follow.
They're in the playoffs. They are obviously very smart. They've proven that by winning all these games. Obviously, also the first point, especially on Vigil, can be maybe compared to back in the day Swiftwater, because it is a throwaway point. You don't really want to lose your players here. Norby gets a very juicy headshot down to the enemy spy, and you might want to hold up onto these interesting angles and interesting shots to pop off in the grand finals, maybe, you know, with your interesting shots. But yeah, what I wanted to mention is on the defense you don't really want to lose any vital players, because that dwarfs any pick you would have proactively got onto the offense, since you want to have a safe back out into the second point.
Yeah, and look, exactly what you're saying is exactly what's happening. Luca Enderman going down to a nice stab. Axio, though, and Pajaka going down as well, so that's a nice early 2 picks here for Twice, and might even enable them to go further. Illusioner takes down Grip to a minuscule amount of health here, as the train does not stop on Twice. They've got to be careful. Unforgiven in the backline, but it looks like they're going to slow down for a second as Dell does go down early there. A little bit of bullying coming onto Broken as he's overextending on that hill area, looking for a cheeky pick here, and Kavka already having that con should speed things up, and somehow we see some knife on knife action here. I thought we were in London for a second.
Alright, Sammy was spamming there from the tunnel. I maybe wanted them to be even more aggressive, because their cloud was not rendered a little bit harmless since Luca Enderman was down on the other side. Sammy is going to get wrangled down there in the midst of this entire Uber, so getting separated early on, and maybe that could be the potential for inVision to park not even the bus, but to solidify their own position right here as the soldier is absolutely flung into the sky, however falling down. Norby dying, however, to his last and final rockets. Some players are still alive, and Stinghen has to pull a lot here to assemble some sort of order back into the second point.
Yeah, really nicely played there from Zero. Good positioning, managed to get away from those rockets of Hive. They had no pyro to protect him, but it does look like we're going to have a little bit of a refight happening on hill straight away. Sammy's taken down very low, does go down to some final pistol shots from Pajaka, so that aggressive refight completely shut down. I think that conch from Kavka really helped get things going, but he will go down to a little bit of a peak from Illusioner, but I don't know if too much is going to realistically come from that straight away.
The Red Brigade needs to focus on covering all the entrances, while Blue Squadron is sometimes, you know, walking forward, trying to get some cheeky angles here, and they have their full Uber up, so it might even not be any suicide wave. No, it will be their favored and fabled push from the tunnel this time around, though it didn't really ring out all that true, but Axio gets the stab as people are distracted onto Stinghen as well. Grip falling to a free charge body shot. Zio dies.
Yeah, caught between a rock and a hard place there, was getting gunned down by Axio, ran M1 into by Dow and just could not do anything. But no medic up on this point. It's basically a death sentence, right? They're just going to be able to get there up on this head glitch, onto this third point, maybe even able to spawn camp, as it looks like inVision just going to have to play around these spawn doors for a little bit. Going to get that nice pick onto Sammy by Pajaka to open things up a little bit, might give them a bit of incentive to walk forward. There is a spy coming in for a little butter knife, but he can't find anything, as inVision looking like they're just gonna have to set up for this last point, and I can't believe how well that played out for them.
Even any layperson can see that we'll probably only see inVision on last, because they have no business on defending the third point even. They looked so well on the second point where they won that one Uber fight, but afterwards getting rushed by the recurring and well, follow-up Uber right there, so it's 3 minutes and 37 seconds for 3 caps, which is quite the speedy time, as that Rolly card gets pushed on further on 3 times there, and Kafka falls in the little red room area as he tried to get some consequential damage onto the offensive players. Both medics still have their Uber up. Sebastian is really just waiting for this card to get pushed, and therefore they want to push from the red room.
Yeah, red room push does come out here. Uber's popped from both teams. The stack comes out onto the gun. Lucky they get that down. So that is going to be one silver lining to this push. But those traps in main, Luca Enderman gets a nice 2k onto Dow and Sammy, and that is going to completely close down things. There's not many better picks you can get there. Menex being Menex the Menace once again gets a nice pick onto Luca, gonna make that defense a little bit harder. Broken coming in, getting a lovely cheeky little headshot through main, and they've actually kind of turned things down a little bit, able to get a lot of cart time through here, as they're now flooding into this flank, trying to get as many picks as they can from here, there, and everywhere.
Judging from the demeanor of inVision, they were aware that they were so vulnerable in their own passive position, and the only way to really capitalize off that, or to even the sides there, is to walk forward with your few resources that you still have, because otherwise you're staying with only a few players there, and with player disadvantage into passive situations and going to get spammed out right there, though they bought enough time for players to respawn, but Luca Enderman is not going to spawn anytime soon, as his head once again gets absolutely broken down there by the offensive sniper. And the Uber was a little bit longer for inVision, but they have no chance and no business in this last anymore. The medic takes this very, very juicy teleporter, but it might not even matter all that much.
No, it just looked like the last couple of players fighting. Medic's getting the cap
Oh.
time, but the respawn wave comes in. This is absolutely huge. They're just trying to get on cart. How does he get it? I thought Pachaka was on the cart there, but Axio managed to just touch it just that tiny millisecond before. That might just be a TF2 moment, but they managed to cap that out in 5:34.
On the side of inVision, they are looking in the ascendancy right now because they were on the back foot early on, but they put out a pretty good time.
Yeah, very aggressive stance coming out here from Twice early on. Want to try to get an early pick. That pick will be onto Pachaka, so going to slow Cart down. Kind of the pick you want. Somehow manages to get Norby as well. I guess he was just left clicking on his stickies. Getting that sniper and scout down is definitely going to slow things down. For now, Sammy playing quite aggressive, playing a risky game here. Does finally fall back to his medic here. There is a spy who's managed to cross into the backline, so Unforgiven will be in position to stab. Can he find anything onto Zio? Doesn't look like the trick stab is going to come out today. Luca Enderman taken out once again. So while they are giving this cap time up right now, it looks like actually, yeah, Twice going to come back through, try to get all these players off of Cart. They're like swatting flies right now, get a couple of picks as well from this aggression. And this is a risky game to play, but they are playing it very well on Twice so far.
That's interesting passage of play. They're aware that they have this huge advantage of having a good time, and therefore every little small second counts, really. Legionnaire going to get Revolver down there, so that is one of the most important picks there, or at least one of the most important picks, because it is their only pick right now on the side of inVision. They have to make something out of there. Oh, Sebastian going to get picked. Never mind these little advantages. We can just throw a party and go in full force, since Medic doesn't get forced. No, he drops.
Yeah, absolute highlight reel from Unforgiven so far in this match, getting the absolute clutch pick they needed to. I mean, that cap took nearly a minute and a half to come out, right, when you normally expect that to be, 25 to 35 seconds, depending on how aggressive they play. But now full Uber advantage is just going to allow them to waltz onto second here. Sammy in a full positioning somehow. It serves it away here. They want to try to get Zio. Gets him down to about half health, but can't quite find it. They're in a bit of a risky position. Looks like Sammy wants to continue fighting this though.
Will Twice rematerialize on this point? It could really be ephemeral here. They're losing so many players, there is absolutely no chance of them refighting that point. They were think about it, it is a wipe. Get your little sponges out and wipe the whiteboard, because everything that can be seen there can also be seen on the side of Twice. Everybody went down. Sebastian went down, is only going to spawn right now. 60% Uber disadvantage, and already inVision on their own doorstep, so you might get a deja vu, since inVision is right now doing to Twice what they have suffered on their respective hands the round beforehand.
I was gonna say, I feel like I've been in this position before. Nice pick by Axio, managed to take down Norby, so that won't be a sniper just staring at the spawn door, but there is a heavy staring at it instead. He managed to get a nice pick. Unforgiven on a 6k so far in this round has been going absolutely massive. Couple of stabs and picks coming out of the cart, trying to slow things down. Even another pick onto Sammy, so that's no Demo Man to rain down damage onto this cart, but just these spies managing to stay alive for so long, keep things going, but it looks like Twice will give this up now. Gonna head back to that last point. 2 minutes remaining here. It's all to play for. inVision can definitely pull this one out of the bag.
Crucial stickies and pipes from Luca Enderman, getting a 3k there, and Twice tried to get their players out, but eventually not being able to salvage the situation, since Luca Enderman was walking maybe more aggressive than they were expecting. Also had the Uber up and 20% advantage on the side of Zio. It didn't really matter in the end result, but they have 2 minutes to push the last point, which is, seeing this game so far, enough time. But if this point really gets into the clutch hold, it can dwindle fast down, as the Uber exchange is going to come in, and really that should decide the fate of this very first round.
Yeah, it's looking pretty reasonable here. Zio does go down to a nice rocket by Highlander though, some nice aggression coming out here, but they're still getting good cap time on this cart here, but Luca not able to connect any pipes. They're going to keep their heavy up in Red Room as well, so no one able to really flank through there. It might be on Unforgiven going on a little adventure. He is in behind here, but Zeo is in such an aggressive position. It's going to be hard for him to find his way. He's being spy checked from absolutely everywhere. They found him in the corner, and surely he will go down, so that will be one pick class down. And now really has to be your sniper getting something, right?
I mean, they should have maybe went in there way more proactively with their players that they still had to force, or rather to get pick there onto Sebastian as Haiva is falling down, however, and Manix as well. And Zeo gets stabbed. The Reflect is trying to even things out as Axio dies, so 3 picks onto the defensive side, but they still have their medic alive, and Zeo got stabbed, which is really not what you want though. Sammy is going to get stabbed as well. Broken. Ramoso, they're all dying. And the respawn wave is definitely going to favor the offensive team once they respawn, surely.
I mean, maybe, but look, this Heavy's still alive, pressuring onto the cart here, and they, yeah, as you say, they have got these offensive players coming up. Teleporter still up, is going to get them to the front line even faster. Hive is trying to make that a little difficult, taking down that sniper. Hopefully going to be trying to even things out a little bit here, but look at all these players in main here. It's just a Pyro jumping to carts. Everyone is trying to block it, but he's pushing them off. He needs to die here.
I'm looking!
So close! Oh my god, can they take this round? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1... How do they hold it? That looks like such a good push coming out from inVision, but Twice will win that first round on inVision's map pick. This is the deciding round. If Twice wins this one, they win all the marbles and are sent right to that grand finals, but it's not over until the fat lady sings. Yeah, I don't think they're going to want to play super aggro. I think Sammy maybe check himself a little bit this time. They're not going to fall for the same shenanigans that they did last time. And it's looking very, very standard as far as first holds go this time. Everyone playing quite passive. Broken just looking for an early pick, and they've just got these players chilling on cart for a second. We should see players, you know, starting to come forward, starting to be aggressive. Unforgiven has managed to get behind here, and he's been good for it so far about managing to get these stabs. But look at this, they're just giving this up nearly completely this time. Can't even find a pick with Axio here. His knife just gets broken, so that can't keep chugging along. It's broken.
Gets broken. He
Unforgiven is ready as well.
He managed to find the little spot there and the little freedom where the sentry was not ready to shoot, and he therefore surfed forward. A Legionnaire and Axio spawning right now, but Broken still being on a 5-second spawn wave, so there is a little time window for inVision to do something, but it doesn't really look as if they find success doing that, or they try to repositioning for this incoming Uber apparently.
There's a push coming out from tunnel. Couldn't find the sap onto that gun, so that will live.
Oh, Pyro!
Pushed into the void goes Zeo. That is not exactly what you want here. They're going to be scurrying around trying to find any picks if they can, but so far everything is going towards Twice. Just a Heavy, the final survivor on cart here, finally has to back up, and that will be a nice second hold from Twice. And now they're going to be already positioning quite aggressively. Sammy, so far on this hill, even gets Sting hand.
We have to read the implications, by the way. Pyro is a great class to exist. And if they want to hold forward here, then that's completely fine tactic, but they have to keep eyes on that card, but this is what they're doing. Manix and Haiva are controlling this card, so there isn't any easy free cap time for inVision as Pijaka gets sticked off, and some players also went weak. I mean, it's wonderful for... no! Whoa! I was saying it's wonderful for the defensive team because they're not allowing these opponents, but it was really, really close there on the side of Unforgiven, almost getting the little drop step there, and he gets Norby down. Stinghan falls as well. Kafka, you just have to read the kill feed and keep in mind that the Spy is a class that guns you down with a little tinky revolver that usually does no damage.
Yeah, Conch is out and they're so aggressive on this hill area. I almost feel like they wanted to go even further with it, but decided against it as it looks like inVision is setting up towards this main tunnel area. Uber does come out. Zeo gonna try not to get pushed into the void, but the Uber is so much better already for Twice here. They do take down Broken though, so that's a nice pick. Already rotating to this side tunnel. No one really ready for it. Sammy gets taken out. Hyvy gets taken out. It's every man for himself here. Luckily, they have got Zeo out high and dry, but Sebastiani, sorry. But that will be about it as they are charging into this third point. 3 minutes on the clock. It's a reasonable time so far, but they're going to want to take things even further. Maybe even get a little cheeky spawn camp on this third point.
The recurring theme of absolutely collapsing on the second point and then being able to defend the third point really seems to be recurring. Who would have thought? Grip dies there to a headshot rather, and they're walking back in, and Hyva is going to get stabbed. Huge bomb there, but it was only a fake bomb on the side of Kafka. He got a little bit weak, but was still keeping his life, so drawing some ice to him. Elijah also getting fully charged body shot down, and it's allowing all the players on this card to walk forward. Don't take that much damage, only a little fire damage there, but it's not going to be enough and not going to deter them from capping this point in just below and under 4 minutes.
Nice little trap by Sam, takes down Grip on the car, was probably hoping for a bit more. You can't complain too much about the Pyro. I have to say that snipe by Norby to get Illusioner was probably push saving there. Illusioner was taken down a Stinghand and he was imminently gonna die unless he got that shot, so manages to save that push. The heavy stays on car, 450 HP, not much you can do. Lots of picks coming out though towards the side of Twice. Taking down Luca is gonna really halt their push just for now, but they're already looking towards Red Room. The car is being pushed forwards here. This is about as far as you're going to get it before these stickies of Sammy just come raining down onto you though.
Luca Enderman found one healing machine. It was unfortunately only the dispenser. Got 3 pipes, I think, in, but only 2 into the dispenser, 1 into the medic. But Sebastian trusting in his team and in the dispenser, and therefore he keeps his life and is unforced. Unforgiven is caught out there on the side by Elijah Neer, and the Wrangled Sentry Gun is denying any openings from this outside grass area alongside with Manix. However, they lose Hyva. Luca Enderman is also going to get gunned out. It is quite symptomatic, really, what is happening to inVision right now, since they came in 1 second or 2 seconds delayed from each other, and therefore it makes it quite easy for the defensive team to read the situations and clean you up one by one. Hyva, though, falls down since he tried to get something working there on the red room.
Yeah, they had a really interesting Uber exchange in the flank there, and I think they just kind of got a bit caught out. Zeo had to killbind in the end of that to not get petted, so it will reset things for now, give Sebastiani a little bit of an Uber advantage. It's not huge here, but they're just going to be looking for spam for now. Nice reflect by Del, will take down Grip, so that's really going to reduce their spam capabilities. But Luca able to go so aggressive. This heavy on cart is getting good capture time, but all that really matters is if you can get it up this hill, and it looks like they might be able to here. Samly finally coming in aggressive, knows they have to block this. They even commit an Uber for it though, but medic of Zeo will be going down, so they will be quite happy with that play overall. Oh, he might be small caps. Oh, he doesn't.
They maybe even want to go forward
Takes
here
the teleport.
into. He does take the teleport. He did not have the intel that the entire team, as they have been doing all games so far on the side of Twice, was very forward. They are always using those big respawn waves of the offensive team to get into positions where they're not expected. Hyva is going to get stabbed. Maybe it lightens the weight a little bit for their own players to walk more forward, but what you really can't sugarcoat is that Twice, despite not really looking all that the first 3 points, definitely got their A game together right now.
Yeah, they've been looking
Never
great
mind.
on this point so far. Sammy going down though to a nice stab for Unforgiven. Seems to be a bit of a constant. This man gets picked. Illusioner, just about to get saved by the Ogre. I was about to say dies, overextending a little on that flank, but I don't know how much they're really going to get for this. They obviously want to gun for this medic, but he's already all the way back here. But the train don't stop here.
And the Heavy is going to win that 1v1 there in Illusion here, and they got forced and sort of went a bit too fast forward. Spy is still uncalled right now, is going to get found out on the side of Unforgiven, but it's a 60% Uber advantage on the and for the offensive team.
Sammy's just able to go so aggressive in this red room, just absolutely pumping out damage. Zeo uses the Uber here into this outside area. Not sure why they used so early. Picks not going their way at all, dropping their demo man during this, and oh no, he's fallen for the disguise, and it looks like the spike. No, can't quite find that final pistol shot. Zeo will live for a bit longer, but this is looking rough for them now. They have to try to come in and find something. 95% on the Uber here for Sebastiani. Will be getting this up for this next fight. Broken does go down, so that's going to be no follow-up for the end. They do take this Uber out on Twice, but able to get absolutely nothing. Maybe a little bit too presumptuous.
Sebastian didn't take any damage. There were some projectile players forward. I mean, Luca Ennerman and Kafka, but they didn't get any damage into the defensive medics, so I didn't really see the reason why he popped their sentry gun. Able to be kept alive, and the Pyro almost pushing that little card up the last hill, but it rolls down right now, and 50% still in the bank of Sebastian. He was half HP, but keeps his life, and therefore they're just, you know, just grinding the clock down.
Yeah, they've just been able to go so aggressive and just find all these picks they need to in the post-Ubers for twice. It feels like it's working out so well for them, as you know, the time is ticking down here on this clock. It was looking pretty good for those first 3 points, but they've been really struggling to get anything going here. Feels like Zio just going down after every fight. They need to build up this Uber and have a great fight coming in. And Unforgiven saps that gun. They take a good exchange, maybe get a pick from Norby early on in the fight, and that's basically what they need to do, as they are stuffing into this flank area. It's looking pretty good. Illusioner is putting in a good amount of damage coming in here though, but he's going to be met by quite a few people, but he gets saved with a lovely Uber. Once again, only able to take down one player so far, but they love going aggressive here, right? But no, they've actually decided to go back this time.
They did, because they lost so many players, even still losing players. Maybe this time around inVision is able to tailor their own side alongside the Paragon that they've worked so far for, because they always had this Uber advantage usually, because the defensive team popped their Uber, and therefore finally, it is 9 minutes and 39, and inVision is going to get that last cap. They really made a meal out of that push onto the last point, and it is rather a testament, I think, to Twice that they were able to assume their own positions, even though they always had their Uber sometimes popped into interesting positions. But the problem then was that inVision did not have the resources to punish.
Yeah, I mean, difficult round, right? 9:39. It's just not the time you want to have to defend. I mean, it's all possible, and we've seen crazier things throughout the times, but you know, they've got something coming for them. They look so strong on Twice last time, so we'll have to see how they fare this time. See if they've been in the kitchen cooking up anything interesting. Just want to quickly shout out one Prime sub from last round. Thank you very much, Templario, for supporting us all here on KritzKast, as this could be the deciding push coming out here. If Twice wins this round, they go straight to that grand finals happening tomorrow, 21-15, right here on KritzKast. Why don't you take us away on this one, Domaytoe?
Let's see if this point plays out differently than what we've seen before, and there's a little cheeky arrow there from Zio, maybe feeling you know, a bit cheeky, because maybe something could have happened to him, but they're all safe back in the back line, so nothing really interesting once again to see here. Only some presumptuous predictions maybe of what they can do here, because they can trust into their pick class basically to do something. I don't see anything else that is going to happen. Haiva is even still weak, therefore he can't bomb, he can't initiate forward, and Elijah and Semi are already on the doorstep and trying to cross that little fence. He's watching through, and Spy doesn't really get anything.
That was kind of scary. Unforgiven was in a great position for a long time. I was in his cam that whole time. He was dodging and weaving the whole time. Nice high bomb coming in.
Oh,
gets the medic. The flank coming in from that side area manages to find Zero, and that is exactly what they don't want. This is just going to allow Twice to get a great repush in with that 100% Uber advantage when their spawners come up.
The last hopes of inVision might turn into ashes quite quickly. I mean, Zio was probably watching his health there, but he was not expecting the heavy to come in from behind him, and therefore right now they're all once again going to conglomerate up on the cut. Unforgiven gets the backstep onto Sebastian, evening things out greatly. They still have to keep eye on the heavy that was forward, but the bomb from Kafka, from Haiva rather, sorry, is trying to get something onto Zio, doesn't get a singular damage number there onto the defensive medic, and you gotta trust into Unforgiven apparently still, since he is evening those grounds.
Yeah, coming in clutch with that play has really slowed things down. Right, it's allowed them to get more of a second hold here. and just going to slow down the game, which is exactly what they needed. It was looking like it was going to be a confirmed second point here, and taking down Illusionary, and that side tunnel is going to slow things down even more. Suddenly desperately trying to find a pick onto the sentry gun, a medic, anything he could in that main area, but just not able to get anything. And now they're looking solid on inVision. This is how they want to be, right? This second point can be so hard. You do have a lot of areas to pressure from, but if you're correctly watching these doors, it can be very difficult. Kafka going down, though, could be a first pick. Actually, 3 picks coming out. Sammy finds an absolute snipe of a lock and load pipe onto the engineer. They take this aggressive Uber exchange. It's been working out quite well for them. Find the sap onto the gun as well here. See what they can do in this post area. They do take down Broken and Delp, so that's 2 players down on the side of it twice, but they keep wanting to roll at this forward here. Hiver came in, but gets it reflected by Grip. Lovely little air shot. They've given up a lot of ground, but I think they should be able to repush here.
Maybe, I don't think so at this current state, though, as Stingen is walking and working off that defensive positioning that we mentioned before, and he knows what positions he has to be in, and therefore he is on a 7k at the end and guns 3 players away. Beforehand, Sammy definitely found his deliverance as he got a bullet delivered quite rightly into his head and into his brain stem as he falls down before the Uber gets popped, and that weakened greatly their own possibilities of walking forward here. Some cap time still going to get nudged out, though. Sammy dying once again to Kafka. Only Unforgiven falling on the side of inVision, but the pick right now is going to come in from Exio. Gets Nobi down, but Stingen is still this raid boss, and he's keeping them at bay.
Yeah, they were desperately trying to get onto Zeo there, but just could not find the damage, playing so passively there, unable to really get it. They're coming back in straight onto this hill area. Uber's evening up soon, 90% on Sebastiani. Aggressive Uber is going to come out from inVision, something we haven't really seen so far, but it looks like Sebastiani should be pretty safe for now. Sammy calls in to go straight forward here, focusing down at this gun. He wants to get some time on Carl. Stab coming out to Zeo, though. It's going to be absolutely massive for twice.
Massive bomb on that card. The Pyro once again showed the enemy, or the offensive medic rather, the little oblivion there through the gate. So that is sometimes what the destiny of a medic is, that has to follow his team on the tracks areas. In the result, it means both Ubers are quite equalized, and it is around 5 minutes, which is well enough time to push the last 2 points, as we've seen in this game and in these concrete scenarios right now, as Sammy spams so much damage forward. Ultimately gets cleaned up by Stingen, but they don't lose all that much forward, since it is a little bit of downtime where you try to get something working. If you die, it doesn't really matter because the card needs to get pushed forward.
Sammy's been struggling to live a little more in this round. It feels Axo is in a good position to get ready to go for something. So when they do decide to go in, there should be, you know, a stab potentially coming through from him. It looks like, though, this cart's slowly getting up the hill here. This is the time to strike. There's a heavy in behind as well, going to be bullying any players that come on the flank here, but they've got a stronghold on this third cap, and Stinghand just so aggressive. Hiver goes down, so no soldier to have that bomb. Oh, gets 2 picks. Sebastiani and Del both taken down. This is absolutely huge for Unforgiven. He's coming so clutch continually this game.
Again, and who's the benevolent beneficiary of this wonderful play? It will be inVision, since they are getting kept in this game, still have this full 100% up, and maybe they want to get ingenious with it, or maybe they just want to once again park the bus a little bit and play around the level 3 sentry gun, as there's nothing really to be achieved here if you go aggressive, and the enemy team is aware of it, and the offensive team, in spite of losing their medic, seems to be aware of some forward ground, since they're methodically pressuring forward here and pressuring inVision out, even though inVision still has this Uber advantage, but the medic doesn't peek out, so Sebastian is completely safe.
They take an aggressive Uber, though. We were expecting them not to take this. They thought they might just stay high and try, but actually lose a couple of players from taking that Uber. It was actually a bit of a tragic tale in the end of the day. Menix even getting down Norby, so that's going to be the rest of the team scuttling right back to spawn, as taking that aggressive Uber is actually just lost on the point. Not what you expect at all. We do see the Kritzkrieg coming out of Sebastiani here, so this is going to be probably on Sammy, or maybe some laser beams to get some aggressive stickies coming forward. They're already pushing onto this third point. Good damage onto the gun. Finally goes down by Axio as well, so this is going to be so good. This gun not going to be denying them as they come into this outside area. Full crits ready. Can Sammy find glory here. Looks like first sticky reflected, second sticky. Sebastiani goes down to a stab once more, so their crits ended prematurely. Nothing really found here. Only players going down are the ones on Twice. And now, sticky situation. 2.5 minutes remaining.
Grip saying, I keep the G, you take the rip, because he was in a perfect position to deny all of that. They were also probably called out, going to give them the benefit of the doubt of Unforgiven and the flank having the eyes onto that little rotation there from the offensive team, and them still being on crits was easily relayed as an information right now. Sebastian switches back to the Uber, and they're on the 60% mark and ticking over it. Therefore, you probably have 2 Uber pushes right here, just objectively seen from the time that is still left. 2 minutes. Delt is falling down, but they don't really get anything working. Maybe the suicide wave is going to work out. It is a soldier, and he's not going to find the damage.
Yeah, they managed to get a nice pick there early onto the Pyro, but that's about all she wrote really on that one. Spy comes in to try to get the gun, but that is easily wrenched away. It's not looking great here. Uber is coming up now, so I expect to see an exchange happening. But yeah, as you said, probably only 2 real fights coming out from Twice here, so they need to probably make something happen, hopefully get that car up the hill as an absolute minimum. Unforgiven tried to go in for an early stab but didn't manage to get anything here as the Uber popped in from Red Room. It's going to be a heavy demo Uber, but look at this, they use so much later. Straight to the Pyro, M1 onto Broken, so no picks late in this fight, and everything is going towards inVision here. They take a leaf out of Sammy's book and start pressuring forward. Luckily, Sebastiani living for a little bit, but this heavy gun, so aggressive, is trying to change that narrative, but no, will manage to die. Sebastiani keeps his life, keeps these Ubers even, and this is exactly what you need in these clutch situations. A minute remaining.
Kafka being the Benin prospect there, since he popped his Chenchen, therefore it managed to help Zero pop so much later. He gets stabbed, however, throwing a knife into the plans of defending this for even longer as they're trying to spam the gun down, but Essex is doing a great job of repairing his gun. It is going to fall down, but so many resources it tanked to be destroyed in the end, and Broken falls down to an aggressive spy play there on the side of Unforgiven.
I thought that was looking so good.
We have, by the way, once again the little switch up of the Mediguns. It is not even Freaky Friday, but we see all the Mediguns getting plugged forward to full use. Crit streak on the side of the defensive team, and Vaccinator. Maybe it will work out in their favor.
Yeah, this is looking really good. They managed to take down that sentry gun, but Sammy sniped by Norby. He's been an absolute tear. They need to get on this card now. It was pushed up that hill so aggressively for medics. So many people. This is like a swarm of bees, and the beehive wins. We were talking about how there's still a possibility while the time goes down. They hold for over 9.5 minutes. What an absolute fumble from Twice. That's all they had to win to keep to win over victory, but they've got to keep it in for one more round, and surely your morale's got to be down if you're on Twice now.
Absolute unreal.
See if Unforgiven can find anything, as they usually like taking their medic out quite early on Twice, as Sebastiani is out straight away. Pajaka will go down to Hiver, so a nice early pick on the flank there.
Since Twice knocked Fela over in the regular season, and sometimes you assimilate the strengths of your defeated enemies and become them. Maybe those are, you know, adapted Fela strats, as in, we want to be aggressive, we want to be the one that pounds here and that sets the record that you have to beat, so come at me. But they're not fully developing the Fela strats since they're not on crits right now. Unforgiven is going to get found out this time around, not getting his insta-kill mechanics onto the crucial players. We have seen a very repeating scenario, which is push through the tunnel, and they're on the side tunnel already.
Yeah, nice pipe on Bajaka. They do force a lot of aggression. And actually, oh, nice stabs by Axio. Hits Stinghand and Norby. Zero dropped as well there by Hiver. I guess there was a nice high bomb coming in, or I think he might have even got in behind it to spawn and just finishes him off with a cratering damage. So this is exactly what they wanted on the side of Twice. They've just already managed to take down a medic in a drop fashion. So 100% Uber going to be coming out onto Twice, already looking into this tunnel area. Everyone looking like they're about to set up. Unforgiven found out as well here. Looks like they want to take it in this side tunnel, switch things up just a little bit, see if they can find that medic. This is exactly what they can. Nice sticky by Sammy, some heavy damage coming out to assist on that as well, and now all they need to do is take down this last ditch sentry gun. It's pretty much the only defense. Engineer going down late is going to be rough. The gun's still alive though.
Still up though, still shooting some players. Might finally get dealt with, only Unforgiven left. Huge mistake by inVision. Unfortunately, I think first time I really have to point that out, because Zio blindsided himself, his entire combo blindsided himself there to this side tunnel push, and therefore he got instantly picked up, which means they're getting spawn camped right now. The second point just got capped, but they have no business really, as Grip also catches a lock and load pipe and reloads himself there into the respawn queue as the crosshair got locked onto him respectively. The defensive flank classes, however, are trying to salvage something. They already get 2 players down, but it's really difficult to find a venue back into this third point.
Yeah, they took the long route of going all the way to last. They want to get into this fight. They are about to come up on Uber, on Zio here, so they might be able to just defend this. But Uber does come out. They need to find him. No, he manages to get Uber. Well played by Zio to build that last 10% very quickly. Axio going down as well, so there'll be no stabs coming in the post-fight. It looks like they might want to still keep going a little bit aggressive, but their health pretty bad. Nice snipe by Norby onto Sammy is definitely going to halt this push. Haven't managed to get up that hill, unfortunately, on Twice. So good, a little comeback by inVision.
Twice had a little discrepancy there in their main calls, probably in their Uber management, because Sammy wanted the Uber popped onto him probably around 3 seconds earlier, because he stayed there and Sebastian took some time to connect to him, and therefore Sammy got piped and almost got dropped before the Uber. Therefore that little mismanagement facilitated that inVision can defend this point for even longer. Kafka getting spotted on the side flank and Essex getting stabbed there. Axio developing a great predisposition for this Uber, rather for this third point to get kept absolutely for free.
Yeah, managed to just sneak it up there. They were scared of that sideline from Broken. Took out one pick, and then they just kind of, I think, feared to do anything. Used Uber a little too late here. A bit of a mistake coming out as they just managed to get so many players. Broken rings out a final headshot onto Zio to really seal the deal here, as this is just going to allow them to go so aggressive on last if you're Twice.
Poor card got neglected. It is getting pushed right now as everybody wants to get into the frag. Highlight show as they're going to spawn camp, so let's see what works here. Sebastian is on half HP, maybe apt to get jumped, maybe apt to get a little bit cheekily pressured by the spawning players. Grip, however, gets stabbed, so inVision is looking in quite the tough spot since they still have this full Uber disadvantage.
Yeah, Sammy just spawn camping this entire time is being an absolute burden on them, and then Axio coming in, getting 2 more crucial picks on those players, trying to come out. Uber does come out, but look how far up this car is. I think this should be secure unless Grip can come in. Absolutely massive. Tries to detonate to jump in, can't quite find enough there, unfortunately. 444, nearly, no, was it fast in their first round? I think it was, right?
It might have even been the fastest we've seen. They're level picking with themselves apparently, since it those are small like second margins. I was rather looking, if you believe in science and in, you know, number science, then you had Unforgiven on the defense there, and you had 4 points in 4-4-4. And that's a lot of fear if you're familiar with the German, but you shouldn't really fear all this, you know, strong cap time there on the side of Twice, since inVision they have no alternative. It brooks no alternative. They have to show and put on their big boy pants and show what they can do here.
Yeah, I mean, there was absolutely points where they slowed them down. This is not the theoretical minimum time, right? So they have to think they're in with a chance. I'm a bit worried that they're not going to have Uber here on Sebastiani. It's taken a long time to come out, only on 10%. So hopefully he can get it in time. Hopefully they haven't realized that he only just put the crits down late there and isn't going to have Uber quite when the round starts. But they have to go so aggressive here if you're inVision, and that is not what you want. The card stickies, and once again take down 2 crucial picks here. They need to just keep players on cart to keep this cart 3 times and rolling at its maximum speed here. But nice little early picks by Sammy is going to even dampen their morale a little bit. Unforgiven captured as well, sent back to the respawn queue, and it's just not going right for them at all here on inVision, as they're just losing player after player.
It's the archaic and debauched strategy of having your medic not on full Uber, therefore you can't get forced. Sebastian has it right now, and they are again opting for this forward hold because every little second those annoying nets seen from the inVision side are on this card. It is going to cost you so much since it is further on diminishing and belittling that time window, which is already quite small on the side of inVision to get anything done here. But what you have to keep in mind, one big play, one drop onto Sebastian, one crucial player going down can really start the steamroll. So this 3.5 minutes, they basically have to push it non-stop here and get the frags.
Yeah, let's not forget about the snowball effect. They managed to capture that first point after getting a nice snipe unbroken. Everyone then decided to respect while they had no sniper alive. Uber comes straight out. They want to take this aggressive exchange here. Uber's came out from both teams. Grip taken it down by the Wrangler there here, and as well Lucas stuck in an absolute corner, is going to be bullied here. Broken taken down by Norby. He's trying to put the team on his back a little bit at the start of this round, but just not enough power players to get in here as everyone's slowly going down one by one, twice holding on to this point, and now it just needs to be all Jets going here. They have a fight without Ubers here on inVision if they want to try to take it, and it does look like Luca is going to be in this tunnel area the rest of his combo, but Rambo find that pick onto Grip, so there'll be no reflect coming out, but they have got a lot of space actually on the side of inVision.
All the energetic endeavors of inVision got reduced to the capacity of a light bulb, even though it started out like a lightning. They're going to maybe lightning strike forward here as Luca Enderman does get dealt with, but they all suicide forward to get Sebastian down. The flank and is the only one that survives in the end result, since the combo of twice all together went down. This is what you want. You want your combo, you know, to play together. You don't want your combo all to die at the same time. It is still illusion here on a 2-second respawner, and therefore Sebastian only has 20% and Zio has 70%. Quite the opportunity right now as the spy is in there. Unforgiven gets some shanks onto Sebastian. It doesn't really render him going down, but this is the biggest shot that you can hope for.
Yeah, this Uber needs to be the Uber that decides it all here, but they're positioning so good on twice here. They're playing it so far back here. Uber does finally come out here. It is just going to be used to get this sentry gun. Looks like they're going to secure this third point as Twice have backed up pretty handedly, but they want to take this refight, and this has been a mistake before by Sammy, but taking down some crucial players so far. But this demo man of Luca Enderman just absolutely pumping out the damage when it's necessary. They have decided just to give this up on Twice. Unforgiven couldn't find a pick as they were leaving, unfortunately, but 1 minute 18, I think this is still theoretically possible. They have
it definitely is.
Hard time.
It is not a mere figment if they have their lingua franca on point, which is we have to focus down the medic, and maybe that is what the inVision side is probably thinking, but I would also point out that maybe you also want to get the frags, because this medic will probably expect people going onto him, but if you focus on all these frags, then it will not even work all that well if your defensive medic doesn't have anyone to Uber on. It's only 50 seconds, though they are banking on their last final Uber.
Nice little early stab by Unforgiven to try to get something over. That will mean that there's going to be no sentry gun in play for this. So easy just to spam from anywhere. I wouldn't expect it to do too much. But actually, as I say, that gun has not gone down. It's being protected by the Pyro. Rambo up in one. They have taken this flank area on the side of inVision here. So Uber comes out aggressively straight onto Luca Enderman, see what they can get. Nice 2 picks coming out from Sammy, gets that trap kills, and look at this, they're able to go so aggressive on Knar, denying this card time. 15 seconds remaining. They just need to play solid on Twice, and this round should be theirs. This is for all the marbles. Zio goes down. There's a heavy on Car. 5 seconds left on this round, and I think we can pretty handedly say this is all she wrote, as Twice do take Vigil in a 2-1 fashion.
Hey, it's Agro here. Thanks for watching this whole way through to the absolute end. There is of course a lo-fi long wave hidden somewhere in this video. If you manage to find it and you're the first to leave a timestamp along with the colour that the lo-fi is painted, you'll win yourself a unique lo-fi long wave. And for everybody else who's searching for a particular challenge, well, there might be an Easter egg somewhere.